Yeah, with no good.
No
That's what I said. No good.
Because come on, man. And then after all the houses burned down, he comes back to say, well, I guess we can't say we did have some type of portion.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't have thought of this before the idea to bomb a house and let the other 60 burn?
Yes, and of course, there were 18 people killed in this assault upon the MOVE organization on Osage Avenue. Of course, as you just said, by an explosive device delivered by a helicopter. After all day...
By a black man.
Yeah, by a black man. After already, this show you how insidious it is that, this neo-colonialist operating in American territory is. After having filled up the basement by the firemen all day long with water so they couldn't be down there, and they got to go to the attic, then they dropped the bomb on up there.
On the roof.
Then assault. Then an armed assault. And anybody coming out, they shooting at them. And the only one survived was Ramona and the baby.
Ramona's the only surviving.
She's the only surviving.
Who now, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she also has a GoFundMe going right now.
Yes.
For her, she has a medical condition.
Yes, Mama Ramona does have the condition of cancer in it. And these political prisoners, and of course Ramona had been a political prisoner and had been having medical complications since that time. And of course, the situation of others who have been let out and die quickly thereafter. And so, yes, absolutely. And the MOVE organization, along with Pan Africa and the International Concerned Friends and Family of Mumia Abu Jamal, have just so much on their plate that, oftentimes I find myself just being very close to Mama Pam, keeping up with what's going on with her and them, in Philly and in New York and, and in Washington, D.C., in that greater population. We have so many of our political prisoners locked up in, that region. And so with Mumia and going forward in regards to him and what he has going on now, which I'll be organizing an event for him to correlate with the court date that he has coming up at the end of October, whereby which this could determine whether he gets a new trial or not. So all of that evidence, what we spoke of before with Daniel Faulkner and all of that, the police and their cover-up, Rizzo and No Good, the neo-colonialists, all of that is coming back because that is the energy of the ancestors. You cannot hide it. And now this judge is demanding it. And so they have to produce it in 60 days. And if the judge, if they don't produce it, which they've been dragging their feet, then he automatically gets a new trial. There's already been judgments for his defense in regards to that. But to understand Mumia, and coming up after this segment on Mumia and contact information, how to get involved with the situation with Mama Ramona Africa, whereby which she, has come down with this cancer and we're raising funds for her. But we'll look at Mumia and why he is the most celebrated political prisoner and activist in the United States. I mean, people from France and, just Asia and all over the place love him. And when I was with Mama Pam back in January in New York, she gave me a book of his. And, Mumia's books often are like transcripts of the political reports that he gives. You can often see things in parentheses on the side and things like that. Well, this was transliterated from him speaking. But this is a big volume here. Murder Incorporated, Empire Genocide Manifestation. That hegemonic, imperialistic viewpoint that they have. Mumia has something to say on that quickly. In an essay here in a part of a chapter called America's Deoxo ribonucleic acid, America's DNA. The very elite of exceptionalism, you're the exception, especially as endowed by providence, has been the foundation of every empire since humans crawled out of the proverbial mud. In this regard, the American empire is no exception, and the Monroe Doctrine, that protectorate manifesto of hemispheric rule, has been the perfect proletarian rule and tool for politicians and rulers to use as their flexible legal and moral rationale for America's colonial and imperial adventures. And so now we see the prison industrial complex being proliferated throughout the world. Companies like the Geo Group, you remember them, right? Mm-hmm. In Africa and in Australia and Europe, here in the United States. The capture and continued hold and warehouse of the labor of African people is the foundation of American imperialism. There's always going to be that fact as a main motive for their political and governmental policy. That's it. That's why you see the police murders. You have to have fear. You got to you got to keep going to work. They can't keep thinking so much that they can, do things, whereby which they aren't directly, like you said, committing energy and resources to this imperialist machine, so that they can carry out this tactics of hold and control throughout the world. So yes, we do. Even those of us